Welcome back everyone to the finale of Illusion of Gaia. We got almost all the mystic statues. We are near the top of the Tower of Babel. We took care of the red jewel. The point of no return is in front of us. Let's freaking go and see where this story will finally lead us. One worn-out body is quietly laid down. In his head, a familiar voice speaks. Will, it's me, Holman, your father. My body has decayed, but I live on like this. Father, why are you in that form? There's a strange room in the Tower of Babel, filled with the light of the comet. Time goes so fast there that people evolve very quickly. Why are Kara and I able to live? Because you two are evolved humans. Us? Long ago, there existed biological technology using the light of the comet. People freely used the power to make plants and animals. For example, they made the camel. It can go for long periods without food or water. When people realized the power could be used as a weapon, demons were developed. Of course, the world was on the brink of ruin. At that time, the Knights of Darkness and Light were developed to decide the fate of humanity. They are your ancestors. The 6 mystic statues were made by the Knights. The last mystic statue is entrusted to you. So yeah, apparently way back in ancient times, people had the power to manipulate evolution, and that of course ended up being abused and misused to bring the world to ruin. And the Knights of Dark and Light were the ones that basically brought the world back to some sort of order. Soon the comet will be very close. By then the two of you must go to the roof of the tower. Close your eyes. And here we are on the roof. Finally we can hear this song for a very long time. I love this piece. The ancients worshipped the comet as a spirit. Those who bathed in the comet's light were given a strange power. The comet is called a spirit, but it's an unwelcome spirit. Evolving too fast brings destruction. As long as people have evil hearts, demons will be born. Will, open your eyes and look around. Other spirits that we can talk to. With my body gone, I became forever young. Through the comet's light, I gained immortality. But is there meaning in an eternal life? I felt more alive when I had a terminal disease. Will! It's been a long time. Such a world. If I could talk of this at an academy, I'd be a great scholar. Neil! What are you doing? I want him to take the roller company grow bigger and bigger! What? So you can do it with slaves, you fucking asshole? I love you. The tower is so high you can see the planet below. Amazing. Even if I can see the real world, I can't touch it. No matter how difficult it may get, I can help you. And there's only one spirit left, and it's Hamlet. Of course, there's no difference between humans and animals. That line is kind of weird, but what they're saying is basically that every single one of these spirits still exists and can still be reborn into new life. But the comet is kind of preventing this from happening. At last, the time is near. Everyone, give Will your power. When Will and Kara joined and became one with the Light Knight, a great power was born. The Knights were brought forth. The Dark Knight's ultimate power, the Firebird, was released. They called it Firebird, but it's basically a phoenix, and it's another thing that connects us to Soul Blazer, because if you remember, even Soul Blazer had that kind of power. Your battle will change the fate of humanity. Now you must go to the comet. Let's fly! I love this animation. And yes, basically, what this comet is doing is altering the cycle of evolution and reincarnation by bringing more ruin and instead of new order and life, which will bring with the comet if there was a positive comet. This is a negative comet. In fact, what is waiting for us on this comet, it's a monster called Dark Gaia, and we can see his face on the downside here. Now, what we need to do, the monster is only vulnerable when it opens his mouth. So we need to keep shooting the attack, which now has a ranged attack, and wait for it to open his mouth to do damage. We can only hit him once, and if we are good enough, we can dodge the debris coming from the sky, all these lasers. But I will advise you to basically abuse aura. If you can avoid it, you avoid it. If something does end up hitting you, you bite the bullet. But this is the best way to go, because in a situation like this, it's kind of a waiting game, and not everyone can be good enough at shooters to dodge all that stuff. First form of Dark Gaia gone, and now it's the second form here, and my god, it's glorious. Again, this is basically another disaster of projectiles coming towards you. Abuse aura. All you need to do is abuse aura. If you see those green lasers coming towards you, just duck. You have to wait until Dark Gaia decides to open its mouth, and at that point it becomes vulnerable. Kinda like what happened with Death Tool at the end of Soul Blazer. Only now it's much more random whenever she decides to attack, and we can do a lot of attacks all at once. And if we keep up with with our timing, with aura, we can basically do this entire fight without getting hit. The bubbles can hurt you, but they disintegrate if they get too close, and your attack is wide as hell, so just keep going and ignore the bubbles as much as possible. Stay here because you get a much faster fire rate, because your projectile despawns much earlier, and yeah, this is something that I did not want to happen. I mean, sometimes the bubbles can basically push you around, which is an issue, but that happens not so often, and with that, Dark Gaia has been beaten, and we have finished with Illusion of Gaia. Kara and Will are now sitting on the comet, watching the Earth from afar. What's happened to the comet? That glowing green planet? Yep, you don't recognize your own planet? To be fair, they couldn't have seen him in that time period. The comet's power has disappeared. The evil star has flown off to the other side of the universe. So what are we standing on? The sun? Do you know what planet that is? Glowing there in the darkness? My god, this text is so slow. Our Earth? That's right. Our Earth. Doesn't it look like a desert oasis? It's never seemed so beautiful. What? It's never seemed so beautiful. That line is weird. But it looks lonely shining in the dark. Yes, the world is awakened. Mother? The Earth. a mother with millions of children. I'm sure you think about us sometimes, and Kara often thinks about her parents. The Earth is the same way. She gets lonely if her children forget about her. How is it, you two? Looking at the world you live in from the outside. It's as if we'd become spirits. I want to show all of our group. No. I want to show everyone in the world. What it means is showing the Earth to everyone, making them see the planet. Some phrases are worded very weirdly. Someday people will build ships to travel the universe. Then they will see this green Earth with their own eyes. See how lonely the Earth looks, just like the two of you. Look carefully at your map of the world. Huh? The map has started to change. You see our world map. Now the continents have been rearranged very slowly, and the plot twist of this game, you might try to see it right now by the shape the continents are taking. But yeah, that was our own world. Basically, the comet has sent everyone into disarray, and now the true world has been restored. Somehow the land has taken on a strange shape. That's the new world. New world? The path of evolution, changed by the comet, has continued until now. The Earth too has a life. It too has evolved and changed its shape. Now that the comet has no influence on the world, it's returned to its original condition. So yeah, the illusion of Gaia was basically what we were witnessing throughout the entire game. The illusion was that world in the age of exploration. Why do you two know the future? When I lost my body, I started seeing everything. The past, the future, humanity's progress. Maybe people would call this kind of body a spirit. Now, you and Kara can become ordinary children again. Don't be afraid. When we return to the Earth, will we be separated? Yes. The world is changing. Humanity and history have started down a new path. You two thought nothing of it when you met each other in South Cape. But when the Earth needed the light and dark nights, you met again, unexpectedly. Let's look at the world before the power of the comet is extinguished. We hope you two have a bright future. So, goodbye to Will's parents, and now all that is left to do is close the book and return to Earth. A new Earth, a new world, and a new age, and a new life for our main characters. Will, come here. Show me your face. I want to burn you into my memory. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your hair, your voice, the warmth of your hand. Don't worry. I will search you out. No matter how long it takes. Hundreds of years, thousands of years, I will come to you. So take care. Close your eyes. Will. And now together they can become one and return to Earth. Let's go to Earth. The night of light and the night of dark now can return to the original world and start a new life together. So yeah, we basically broke a chain of events that was basically fomented by the comet that was influencing the Earth. And now, when we return, it's the city. It's basically Tokyo. The world has returned to its original state. And this text is very hard to read. The Earth's look had changed, but glowing in the sky, it was as beautiful as ever. The transparency effect is weird. Buildings replaced the forests. Rivers became roads. But the villages held only smiling faces. But the Earth was the only one that looked sad. Tomorrow morning, Kara and I will start our new lives. The Tower of Babel stands tall, as if it knows the whole future of the Earth. I love this skyline shot. It's very suggestive. I mean, it's still 16-bit, but I find it charming. And that was Illusion of Gaia, or if you're European, Illusion of Time, which I guess it's time because actually changed the time from modern day to exploration, to age of exploration. I think 1800s. That's where it was supposed to be. This game, kind of a weird fantasy 1800s. And we see all of our main characters again running around. This game, I said it many times, it's kind of weird. Like, the story is very weirdly told. I get the flow of what happened by the end, but the way that the adventure started and the way it progressed was very sloppily handled. Like, the random start with being called by the king in search of the ring, that wasn't bad. The fated encounter with the princess, it was fine. But then stuff got introduced like the jackal and never mentioned again. What the hell King Edward wanted to do was never actually mentioned. Your friends just pop randomly into your adventure on the Incan ship when they doesn't seem to really care what you were doing before. And they don't really have an arc. Like, the only thing that they do, Seth dies, Lance at least gets to live, gets to meet his dad again and have a new life ahead of him with Lynn. Ken basically passes his whole time constantly telling about how he can't go to the toilet alone, which, I mean, I think he's supposed to be the youngest of the four, but still, it's not much. And even the relationship between Kara and the main character are kind of sloppily handled. I mean, it's still a Super Nintendo game, so there are limitations. What I get from this game is their intent of trying to get out a message of how the world was built to the point on which we are right now. We return to the 1800s to see all these things, like people living their lives in these Florida rich towns, but behind every town, like Frisia and all, and even Euro, there was something like there was slaver trades running around. All the fact that all these artifacts that we need to find are in the ruins of these ancient populations that have been completely destroyed by how this history was going. I mean, you can say they are trying to blame it on the comet, but at the end of the day, I think they were trying to give us like a bit of a commentary to how the society of the entire modern world has been built, running around all these little abandoned civilizations and all that. The themes are there, and they are trying to basically say at the end that despite everything bad around the world, if we can find the strength to actually help and love each other, even if this world that is now a complete concrete jungle with skyscrapers, roads, and all that, we can still find a way to have our own happiness, even if we lost our contact to nature and we have become kind of mean towards each other and towards the difference that we have. Maybe I'm reaching a lot, but I feel this is what they were kind of trying to do. I commend them, but at the end of the day, I say this is my least favorite of the Gaia trilogy. It's a game that I really have to be in a mood to play. Nothing to take away from this game, because it's a very fun dungeon crawler. The music is great. It looks fantastic for the time, especially after Soul Blazer. The graphical update, it's superb. And honestly, it's still a very, very fun game, despite all the problems. There is a retranslation that tries to be a little more accurate, but it's not that different. All it does is just use words like God instead of spirits and slaves instead of laborers, which honestly, the second one is a bit of an upgrade because it's so stupid, that censorship. But yeah, I still recommend this. It's a very fun game, even if it's not my top favorite of the Gaia trilogy. I still held it in high regard. It's a shame that it kinda had all these problems in trying to tell its own story. I thought this was an issue of the maybe localization butchered all the stuff, but no, it really kinda didn't. Most of the concepts are still here. It's just a game that was struggling to find the pace in order to tell its message. And I feel they will nail the concepts in the future game. If it is something that I take out from both Soul Blazer and Illusion of Gaia, it's that you can really see the blocks forming about on what's gonna be their next game. The concepts of reincarnation, concepts of bond with nature, of how modernity can be both a blessing and a curse. Some environmental messages even along the way. These are all things that these two games both try to do, and they both will collide and culminate in the final game of the Gaia trilogy, which is Terra Enigma. And I will get to Terra Enigma eventually, because it's been on my bucket list since forever to do a Let's Play. I did a walkthrough as the first thing I did on my channel, but those videos are like thousands of years old at this point, and I kind of want to redo them in higher quality, and also add my my own thoughts and feelings throughout the play with my commentary, which some of you might be a curse. Hey, I'm having fun, and it was great to revisit this game after so much time. For all its worths, I say it's still a very nice experience. Even if not my top favorite, I would still recommend it to everyone. Whether you play Illusion of Gaia or Illusion of Time, pick your own pick your own choice, but play it and try to have fun with this little gem from 30 years ago. Damn, I am old. Thank you for playing, thank you for the game, Quintet. You were taken from us for way too early. Freaking damn it. The industry, not all the best, not all everyone gets to stay for long. Sometimes something has to give. And now we have a little flash forward with a modern day wheel in what seems to be the corridor of a school here.
Class is over. Please be careful. Crossing the street. We have had a lot of traffic accidents lately.
So yeah, this new world isn't perfect. There's still crime, wars, and traffic accidents. But our friends are all together. Everyone is here. They found each other in this new world, and they're living their own peaceful lives as the children that they are. They're going to school, and whatever awaits them in their future, I hope is very bright. For what awaits for our future, it's a new game in the next couple of days. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Gaia trilogy eventually. The next game in the Gaia trilogy will be Terra Enigma, so please look forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this trip with Illusion of Gaia. If you enjoyed this video, click like, share it, subscribe to the channel. You can check out my blog in the description. Sometimes I need to do these plugs more often, but you know, it's always like a pain. Like something that you like, it feels always very stupid to say. But yeah, no more daily wasting time in this very long outro. I will see you with the next game on the channel. I am Markus. Have yourself a fantastic day. Take care of yourself, and we'll see each other with the next game on the channel.